In today's episode, Lou and I are going to be answering the question, what is the most overrated song from these iconic rappers? Guys, let us know where we get it right and get it wrong in the comment section. And if you guys want to subscribe to the Plus channel, please do so because we're going to be releasing content just like this on a weekly basis. We have tier lists, brackets, and more formats just like this. But Lou, let's jump into this, all right? Because
starting off with everyone's savior.
Kendrick Lamar.
Yep.
Kendrick Lamar has had one of the greatest years in hip-hop history for 2024. A beautiful catalog, full of fantastic records, but I feel like there's some overrated records in there.
There is. I feel like the most recent one, which I'm not going to give the title of the most overrated to, but we've said it before. Euphoria is a bit overrated. I feel like everyone already had acted like Drake was buried 10 feet deep after that song came out, and I just feel like there was better diss tracks from that whole stretch. So
the best staging one for me is 616 in LA.
I love that song.
That I think is one of the greatest diss tracks of all time.
I absolutely love 616. I still love Meet the Grahams, and of course Not Like Us. This one is still fantastic as a song. I just feel like, again, it was a bit overhyped when it had first come out. But I don't want to focus on that because, like I said, I don't think it is his most overrated track.
I don't think we could go into Mr. Morale. Reason being is that, like...
Oh, we can.
You think there's his most overrated track in his catalog in there?
I think there's one of his most overrated because he doesn't have that many overrated tracks. Like, even when you look at like Kendrick's biggest hits, like a Money Trees, like a Swimming Pools, etc., they're not really overrated. The only one that you could name, which is probably gonna be my answer, is Humble. And it's not because it's been overplayed. It's because, like, how does that song get the Grammy nomination for Record of the Year over a Pride or over a Fear, over some of the other songs? So I feel like that track overshadowed the greatness of other songs.
Absolutely.
But I will say this, within the Kendrick community, the song isn't overrated.
That's very true. I
So
think to the
it's
masses,
hard to...
Yeah, it's a hard decision to make. But I feel like I went with Humble as well just because, like you said, the Grammy nominations completely got this wrong. There was much better records production-wise and writing-wise. That was a mouthful. Off of Damn. And going into his catalog, like you said, the big hits and the renowned hits off of it, To Pimp a Butterfly, like an All Right or a King Kunta, fantastic records. Same thing, let's say, with GKMC, like you said, a Swimming Pools or a Money Trees. Like, those are perfectly rated songs. You know, those are classics within his catalog. Humble, though, it's his biggest song. And you could say that even the production itself by Mike Will, like,
It's not bad,
cool.
no.
It's cool. It's cool.
Let's not say it's a bad song. Overrated and, like, weakness is different.
But, whoa, where are you jumping to? I never said
You
that.
said the production was...
I gotta finish my thought, bro. You always interrupt me. What I'm saying with the Mike Will production is that when I compare that, let's say, to like Ninth Wonder's production off of something like a Duckworth, or let's say looking at Uncle Al's production on a Fear, production-wise, it's in the mid-tier, let's say, as far as like Damn goes. Like, that's where I would place it in my rankings. And like you said, the Grammy nominations kind of spoke it all. But speak on Mr. Morale. Like, do you have any overrated tracks on there?
Of course I do. Auntie Diaries. This is a song that got rave reviews when it first dropped. It was a song that I believe Fantano had also placed under his favorite tracks off of the album. And I think that people maybe were taken away with like how groundbreaking the narrative of the track was and how special the concept was. And I appreciate it on a writing level. I think that it was cool to get such a unique song concept. But that being said, this is a sonic listening experience. You know, and there's nothing performance-wise or production-wise that at least keeps me engaged within the track whatsoever. So I do feel like it's a cool poem, some cool spoken word poetry, but as a track, as a song, it doesn't do it for me.
I agree with you. I'll never really go back to Auntie Diaries like that, but I don't feel like the Kendrick community or the masses rate it as, like, let's say, they would a Money Trees or a Humble, for example. Like, I feel like people more appreciate the concept of it, as you should. I feel like it is groundbreaking for Kendrick's catalog as far as like writing goes. But sonics wise, like you said, it doesn't necessarily play into my rotation, but it was never going to make my most overrated.
But yeah, it's Humble for
Absolutely.
sure. It had great lead single energy, and I do like the lively Mike Will trap beat, but ultimately, like we said, there's way better songs on that album. Next up, though, we have Drake, and I'll be honest with you, for me, it's like the Drake catalog has this tipping point from Scorpion and on, and I feel like after Scorpion came out is when a trend started shaping out where I started realizing, wow, for the first time in Drake's career, there's now been a pattern of a lot of songs that Drake fans fuck with that I no longer fuck with. Because everything pre-Scorpion, I loved all the hits, I loved majority of tracks on a majority of albums, but once you get into, again, the post-Scorpion era, that's where I started seeing things a bit differently than how the masses do.
Yes. Do you feel like there's anything on albums like CLB, For All the Dogs, that get a bit overrated? Because we're having the conversation of like his most overrated song.
Yeah.
Like this is the grand one, you know? So yes, I feel like there's obviously overrated tracks on CLB and For All the Dogs, but I didn't put my focus there. I
did. I definitely did. I think For All the Dogs, I didn't put focus on just because it is a bit too soon. Like, you haven't had that much time maybe to rate some of those songs.
It's also the Drake community doesn't necessarily rate it like that either.
That's
true.
true.
I think it's a consensus album, at least in the community, that people are like, well, it's definitely not his strongest. I feel like there's fans that still really do enjoy it. You know, if you enjoy the album, more power to you. But I feel like it's that consensus album where people are like, oh, you know, that's not that great. CLB, though, I feel like gets overrated as a whole.
As a whole, yeah. And that's going to be my most overrated Drake song, without a doubt. It's Knife Talk, bro. This is a song that I've seen people get absolutely fucking lit to at every single festival. It's one of the most streamed songs off of CLB, which doesn't mean much in terms of commercial success, but I always felt like people hype it up as one of the best off of that album. And it just felt like Drake was an imposter on his own song, like him rapping about how it's looking real oppy outside and like him just trying to act like the street dude. It didn't feel like it didn't feel genuine, and it didn't feel like you could buy it as a listener. And it felt like it was Drake trying to jump into that Project Pat 21 Savage dark murderous sort of energy, and it just didn't feel natural to me.
Yeah, but he's done it before, but I feel like it was executed upon on different albums, and I will agree with you. I think it's one of the most overrated tracks within his catalog, but I have my number one pick, bro, and this was so easy. You know how I feel about God's Plan, bro.
Do people really rate it like that? Obviously, it's a hit.
I think a lot of people really enjoy the track. I know you like the track itself, bro. That song is overrated as fuck. I am sorry, bro. There is no way I am listening to I Only Love My Bed and My Mama. I'm sorry, bro. Like, I'm not going into those elementary level lyrics. The production, like, bro, even Drake admitted that he was fucking around on this track. Like, you could tell, like, this is like a low effort Drake record. But, like, there's no way you could find that much value to the point to where it becomes his biggest song.
Yeah.
Like, that's my reason being, bro. There is no, like, I have never woke up in the morning and said, I'm going to enjoy God's Plan. Like, there's no fucking way I'm going back to that record, at least in my opinion.
I think the thing is, it's sort of like a humble situation again, where like you and I and like the core Drake fans, we're not going to say God's Plan is an upper echelon Drake song. I don't think it gets overrated by the fans. It's just, again, it got nominated for the Grammy, and you know, people praised it in terms of
the anthem.
Magazines and publications.
Yeah, it was an
but
anthem.
No, I don't think that's an issue. I think if a song is overplayed and becomes an anthem and it's not good, that doesn't mean anything.
But it is
me.
overrated.
We have
though.
to separate overplayed and overrated. I think it's the fact that, again, it got awarded and it got praised by critics and yada yada.
But the thing is that overplayed does fall into overrated for me.
I totally disagree.
I disagree with you.
Sicko Mode, is that an overrated song? No, but it's overplayed.
Yes, but it depends the circumstance, because yes, like a Sicko Mode, but for example, like if everyone's bumping a song and everyone enjoys it, then bro, it's low-key overrated. Then
if everyone enjoys it and
definition.
people rate it as being a so-and-so's best song or one of the best songs off a certain album or from a certain era, sure, but God's Plan was never really like that for the Drake community.
Not for the Drake community, but I feel like for the masses, yes.
Fair enough.
And the Drake community doesn't have the problems with it that I have the problems with.
Okay.
You get what I'm trying to say? Like, I really don't enjoy this track. Like, example for you, like, I don't even think you consider this a skip, low-key.
Would I skip it? Probably at this point again, because I've heard it so many times, but I genuinely fucked with it when it first came out.
There you go. You
So,
see, I
you know,
never fucked with it.
that's
so
it.
that would be my pick for Drake, but let's keep going on.
Also,
with this.
way too sexy. Like, at one
Yeah,
point
you
in
think
time, I was always like, am I the only person in the world who doesn't fuck with this song?
No, I think,
you know,
I think
but
everyone has a consensus.
also Nonstop and Tootsie Slide are other mentions, but my take is Knife Talk. Ant's take is God's Plan. Let's go on to Metro Boomin, and I feel like for Metro, most of his songs that he's made over the last decade, they've all been celebrated. That's why this one is so interesting, is because he doesn't really get criticism on any of his tracks. And by the way, guys, we're not doing songs that he's had production credits on. This is solely songs from his own solo studio albums or collab albums that he's done. But that being said, think about it. He hasn't gotten that much flack on his tracks.
That's very true. Okay, I will say this. Mr. Right Now is in contention.
It's not. There's no way.
It's in contention. It's in contention.
Nobody rates it like that,
But
bro.
I'm going back to that song. I shall be going back to that song.
Oh, this
going
take
back.
started making less and less sense
Hold on.
as you
I'm
kept
going to
going.
Creepin'. I'm going to Creepin'. Creepin' is
Okay.
the most overrated song.
Okay, yes.
Yes, it's so overrated.
I was
bro.
stuck between two. Obviously, Creepin' because of 21 Savage. We've been over that. But also a song that I'm like, I don't know if this is number one because it's still super, super fresh. But Red Leather became a fan favorite off of We Still Don't Trust You. And I never understood why
The appeal for it.
hip hop needed like a 7-minute love snooze fest between Future and J. Cole. Like you're getting an out of form J. Cole rapping about how he could bag a Ruby Rose, and you're getting Future just like saying basic romantic shit.
Even as
like-
far as like a Metro production goes, like I get it. People like the guitar strings, but bro, like I'll go to Polo G's catalog if I need that. You
Yeah,
know?
it's
Like
just
I'm
so
not trying to
boring.
find that type of production. It is a boring track, but it's too soon. But it's automatically creeping.
Yeah, it's creeping, man.
And like you know, my little cousin fucks with this song so hard, bro.
For
He's
sure.
a huge Metro fan, and I just tell him like, don't ever play that in the whip with me. You know, like when I'll say this again. When I hear the fucking rinky dink bars, bro, by 21 Savage, that's when I'm tuned out, bro. You can make an argument.
If
You can make-
21 wasn't on it, it wouldn't have been.
You can make
most
the argument.
overrated.
Yes, absolutely. You can make the argument for the weekend. I cannot complain about the weekend.
He fucked it up for everybody, bro.
Like I'm not trying to hear fucking 21 Savage talk about the rinky dinks.
Yeah.
You know, like it's just it's so out of place, bro. And you know what? I'm all for artists experimenting or trying to target new demographics and go into new sounds. But like
I respect it though. It was like Metro, like probably had to sit down with 21. He's like, bro, I'm gonna make you 10 M's, bro, today. Just hop on this fucking song, lay some vocals down, bro. Quick 10 M's. Like,
I don't even want to read the lyrics to this verse. It's his most overrated. And it
Yeah,
got
it is.
celebrated, dude. Everyone fucks with this song.
well, yeah,
low-key.
because The Weeknd killed it, bro. I love that interpolation. But again,
It's hard. Drake should have been there.
that
Should have
would
got
have been,
that would have been
should have been
disgusting.
there. Should have been on trance. But hey,
Should have been all over that album, low key.
haters gonna hate. Next up, Tyler the Creator. All right, you have to hear me out on this one because this is the one where I'm gonna get the absolute most hate for out of this entire episode. And you know what's interesting is that again, I'm talking about most overrated. When you look at like a lot of Tyler's older shit, the reason why I didn't put a lot of those songs in contention is that
No one really rates it like
no
that.
one really rates it like that, right? So I'm like,
There's
okay,
criticism all over those projects.
I need to choose a track that I love, but that the people love just a little bit more than me to a point where I'm like, I don't know if this is Tyler's best song.
Okay, so let's have a. It's not Earthquake, is it?
It's not Earthquake.
Okay.
It's one that might like get you even more upset than Earthquake, though.
Is it off of the which? Okay, which one is it off of?
It's off of my favorite Tyler album,
It's off of Flower Boy or Igor? It's off of
Igor,
Igor.
man.
It's Igor.
Yeah,
You went with Running Out of Time.
I did not. I did
Oh,
not.
okay.
So I'll give you my reasoning. I'm just gonna fucking
Yes,
take the cat out of the hat. This is actually probably a top 10 Tyler song for me. But the reason why I chose it as his most overrated, I think it's slightly overrated, and I think that too many people, including Tyler himself, put it at number one, and I don't think it's his best song ever. And that's New Magic Wand. I love the song. I love the way that he was able to...
What's wrong with you?
Don't interrupt me. Let me finish.
Okay.
I don't like the way that... I love the way, excuse me, that he was able to blend so many different sonic palettes from different albums. You have like a Cherry Bomb-esque production, but him rapping his ass off on it, him singing so well. I just feel like there's better songs sonically, production-wise, narratively, not only on Igor, but on other albums. So again, this is a top 10 Tyler song. Hear me loud and clear. It's just not number one. And I feel like a lot of people started like to overhype it after Tyler himself said, this is my best song. So that's
It
my
was
take.
an automatic top 3 song on this album.
fine.
It's top 3 in his catalog for me.
That's okay.
Would I say it's his best? I feel like he does have better, in my opinion. But regardless, though, like, does that mean it's truly overrated?
I said it's slightly overrated. But
Ooh, I don't
what
know.
else did you
His
think
most
of?
overrated song. That's the problem, though, is because you can't access the early catalog. Because what are you gonna go to? You're gonna
Tamale?
go to
Like-
you're gonna go to Smucker's off of Cherry Bomb. That song is perfectly rated because the best songs on those albums make sense. They genuinely make sense. So I couldn't touch his early catalog. I went with Juggernaut off of Call Me If You Get Lost. I feel like a lot of people really enjoyed that collaboration and people liked seeing Pharrell and Uzi. I didn't like the production. I felt like Uzi was out of place for Call Me If You Get Lost, and even the Pharrell verse is overrated. And I've seen it in our own comment sections how people rate Juggernaut and they really enjoyed for Call Me If You Get Lost. For some people, I've seen it in our own community say that this is the best song off of the album.
Really?
Yes,
I
absolutely.
haven't seen that.
Absolutely. So I've always felt like this was his most overrated song to this day. To this
Listen,
day, at least for me.
I thought of Juggernaut, but I'm like, I don't think it gets rated that highly. That's why I had to think
I went to
outside the
Juggernaut.
box and choose something that was just slightly overrated to me. But speaking of Juggernaut, Uzi is next up on this list. So for a lot of people, they might say EXO Tour Life. There's no chance I'm going with that. I don't give a fuck. Again, a case where it's overplayed, a case where, you know, you're maybe sick of hearing it, but you can't take away the greatness that was achieved on that track. Just one of the best emo rap tracks ever. So I did not go with that one, without a doubt. I went with something more recent. And again, you can make the argument, oh, it's too new to say, but people were rating this song so highly when Pink Tape came out that I was in total disbelief.
What is it?
It's Suicide Doors off of Pink Tape.
It's an overrated song off of the track.
It's
But like you
super
said, though, don't you
overrated.
feel like it's a bit too soon, though?
It's a bit too soon. I mean, you could argue, but it's been over a year at this point. And like I said, I just don't understand how people appreciate Uzi's mix of simultaneously mumbling while screaming. Like, it's just an absolute mess. There's nothing charming about the vocals or the performance. And at one point, like for 15 seconds straight, he's just saying, yeah, yeah. And it's like, okay, maybe it's cool for the moshes, but
your
it's
rotation?
not for me, man. What about you, though? What did you
What
go
about for
with?
me? I think I have a really good pick here, actually. And it's not going to be on a solo studio album. It's actually going to be one of his singles that he released. I went with That Way by Lil Uzi. I feel like a lot of fans actually enjoyed the track. People liking the interpretation.
It never got it rated that highly.
I'm
I
telling
disagree
you,
with you.
I'm telling you, it's super. Like,
Show
the
me where
stream-
it got rated highly, bro.
I'll show you right in the streams, bro. I think it's low-key one of his most played songs within his catalog.
That doesn't
bro.
mean overrated just because it has a lot of streams.
Oh, absolutely it does.
No,
though.
it doesn't.
It's one of his most streamed songs within his catalog. People have been using it for edits on TikTok. I've been seeing it all over the place. And when I look at those songs that were released within that era of Uzi, I go to a Futsal Shuffle more. I prefer a Sanguine Paradise. This one just kind of fell flat. And as I said, like, for the interpolation itself, obviously you have the Backstreet Boys version of it that I feel like is a really good song. But it just kind of fell out of place. It's not a bad song by any means. It might not even be mediocre. I just feel like a lot of Uzi fans really cherish this song, and it's just not for me. Like, it's a song that I never really
I don't
revisited.
see that much praise for it. And, like, it sounds like to me you're saying it's a popular song that you don't enjoy that much, which makes sense. But to say that it's overrated, I'm not sure.
But that does play into the definition, Lou. I'm sorry. Like, if people are genuinely spinning this, like, there's proof in the pudding in the numbers that people are playing this song hard within an artist's catalog, and I don't enjoy it, that automatically adds points for me when I'm looking at an overrated track. Now, obviously, you could get into the community lore and start talking about how people feel about it in comment sections, but that's less quantifiable in my opinion. Like, when I look at a song, I can't say a song's overrated if it's not getting streams. It has to be a big song, or else it would not make this
we know
list.
that there's way more exterior factors that go into it, like playlist pushes and people casually throwing it on and not thinking that it's the greatest thing that's ever graced the planet Earth. So I think there is a distinction between overplayed in popularity and overrated.
But that's the thing, though, is that the way that I'm judging this episode, ladies and gentlemen, is that I'm taking into account how big the records are, but that's not the only thing that I put into the formula. Obviously, there's fan lore behind it and there's general community conversation behind it, but you need a balance of both to be able to get down to the actual song itself. But all right, let's continue going on with this. Let's go on to Future. Easy money for this one, bro. Another easy song for me, and it's off of I Never Liked You. It's gonna be.
I'm on one.
No, wait for you.
Oh, okay.
Wait for you. It got super like it's super high rated, bro. I think it won a Grammy actually, and I always felt like, bro, this would be so much better if like you just got both of them off the track, bro.
Yeah, it would have.
I just get them both. And wasn't this a release track?
Yeah,
or
this was
something?
a released Thames track
Yeah,
that they
it was.
kind of just sampled. So just go back to the Thames song. But I mean, yeah, that's fair. I never like disliked the song like that. I thought it was kind of just whatever. But
I think it's whatever as well. I don't think
Yeah.
it's a bad song. I just feel like it's extremely overrated. I think it was nice for summer of 2022. You want to make that argument? Fine. Whatever. It's not a Grammy winning song. And when I see people put this as amongst like Future's best hits, no way, bro. Like, don't have that conversation with me. Like, especially the way like he's hitting those melodies on the track itself. It's just not for me. But what do you got?
well, you know my take. I've given it before in the pod.
What is it? What is it again?
Coding crazy, bro. Coding crazy. It's not gonna change.
I think people are
that
gonna show up to your house, Lou.
yeah, they
after
could
this-
come out here, bro. Like, find me. But I mean, honestly speaking, I love the psychedelic trap fusion by TM88. The production's fucking hard. Future's performance in some areas is good, but again, it comes down to that off-key auto-crooning that's super screechy and it's not good. Like, I'm not going to lie and say that I love Future singing on the song and that doesn't take anything away from it. Like, yeah, it does. So
No, but you see, he's not really singing on the song.
again, I think it's a fire song, but a lot of people call this Future's best song.
I put it in his top 5.
That's my point.
I put it like
you're
for me,
exactly my point.
Yeah, like,
that's
I
why
rate it.
it's so highly rated. I don't think that it's a perfect song like people make it
But
out
it's
to be.
one of his best written songs too. Like kind of regretting the Kara relationship. Like there's a lot that goes into that song itself, and the production.
For
is
sure
incredible.
there is, and I never discredited that. I'm just saying when you're looking into his performance, there's flaws. That's all.
Yeah, it's not. Well,
There are, bro.
I don't know. Like there's not like I've. Where was the screechy autotune for you? Because I want to go back and listen to it. Because you know how I don't fuck with the screechy autotune.
I'll show you after the episode.
Show me after the episode
sure.
because I absolutely love the song and I disagree with your take. But all right, let's continue going on with this. ASAP Rocky. What's interesting about Rocky is that I feel like everything that he's gotten praise for, whether it be like a praise the Lord, example, a Lord Pretty Flacco Jordy to, I don't know, a Goldie, fucking Problems, Peso, they're all bangers, bro. Like I really can't find nitpicks with these songs. So the song that I went with, again, this is where I had to bring in the numbers game. I was like, what's a really popular song that a lot of people are still spinning to this day and that are getting active streams at this point that I genuinely stopped enjoying? And I gave the take in previous podcasts on this song that I said, oh, well, it's okay. It's passable. But going back to it, like, I can't ever play this on my ones.
What is it?
It's going to be Wild for the Night. I think it's his most overrated song in his catalog.
No, that's a bad take, bro.
Why?
That's a really bad take. And that's one of my least favorite Rocky songs, but no one rates it highly like that. Like, you have some Rocky fans that are like, oh, I actually like this song. Like, I fucked with it. It was during that dubstep era. Like, sure, fire. But this is not an overrated song by any means. Sure, it's streamed, but no one in Rocky's community is saying, oh, this is
No, but
top 5
but
Rocky.
again-
This is top 10 Rocky.
but again, like-
this is one of the best songs off that album. Nobody is making that claim, bro.
I understand no one's making the claim, but it goes beyond the community lore for me. That's why, like, I'm not only concentrating on hip hop.
It's not even one of his most streamed songs, bro.
It's a huge song, bro. It has over 500 million streams.
I'm sorry, that's not.
It's one of
not
it
his
is
most-
it is technically one of his most streamed songs. It gets played at
but
festivals all the time.
Ask
It's
any
champion-
Rocky fan, they're not saying this is a top.
But then
tier Rocky
again,
song.
like Rocky's music has gone mainstream to the point to where it goes beyond the core fan base. You want to talk about other rappers, fine, but at least for ASAP Rocky, guy has over 20 million monthlies, and he's been one of the most popular rappers for the past. At this point, I would say, 13 years? So it goes beyond that for me. This song is being championed at festivals. This song is getting the daily
I
streams.
never heard it at a festival once in my life. We've been to mostly all the same festivals.
You've never been to EDM festivals.
Okay,
Well,
sure.
At EDM festivals, it's getting played heavy,
Okay.
and I just don't enjoy the Skrillex production.
How many EDM festivals have you heard the song at?
Well, when I used to go to Il Cynic, a fuckload. When I used to go to Escape,
Once, twice.
Well, I mean, it's getting played, bro. It's getting played at sets. Listen, it's not me. I ask Spotify. What do you want me to do? You want to call Spotify and ask why it's getting streams?
It's not a question
making-
of weak songs that have high streams, but it's okay. We disagree on how we view it. But most overrated for me is going to have to be, I've given this take before, it's LSD, and I think it is a good song. I think that if they cut the song in half and started it at like the bridge and ended it off there, it would have made for an incredible song off of A Long Last ASAP. But for me, you have Rocky moaning in the backing track of nearly the entire track. You have
He's just
some.
humming. He's not even moaning.
Okay, you want to keep going, or you want me to give you my
No,
explanation?
I thought I'd correct you there. He's not moaning. He's humming.
It sounds like he's moaning. Apart from that, there's some weird delivery when he sings, "Girl, I really fucking want love, sex, dream." Like, he puts emphasis on certain words and like shouts them out, and it's awkward. And I feel like the whole song LSD is about like hypnotizing you and putting you in a certain trance. And there's certain elements sonically that will pull me out of like that experience and pull me out of like the hypnosis that he's trying to like put you in. So I think it's overrated. Like I said, I wish that the song was cut in half and started at the bridge, but it is
Start
what it
to
is.
finish track for me. So you called my take horrible, but you saying LSD should be cut in half is not a good take.
Well, I didn't
either.
say your take was horrible. I said it didn't make sense for overrated, but
Why? I went with a popular song that I don't rate.
I'm not getting into this again
Yeah,
with you, bro.
absolutely.
We disagree.
That's
but
what yeah, but either way.
your logic doesn't make the most sense, but it's all right. 21 Savage is the next rapper. This one's pretty easy for me. Like I've said for other rappers, oftentimes when you're getting into the auto crooning melodic bag, certain artists can't pull
Is
it
it
off.
Ball Without You?
It's Ball Without
Yeah,
You
it's his most
by a
overrated
long
track.
shot.
I was considering Mr. Right Now. That's what I was saying before, is that I want to talk about it. But I feel like there are certain 21 fans and certain fans in the community that I've seen in our own comment sections that don't rate the song like that. So that's why. And between this and Ball Without You, they're kind of streamed on a similar basis. So when it came to the numbers game, I could have gone either way. But I've never really seen anyone that's dislikes Ball Without You. I feel like it's probably one of the more melodic cuts within his catalog that people do enjoy and that they do champion. A lot of people do say that this is in their top 3 songs off of I Am Greater Than I Was, and I never understood the appeal. I think it's a solid track. You could argue it's probably his best melodic track within his catalog, but I'm not going back. Listen, I don't think it's a bad song. I don't think Ball Without You is a bad song.
I think it's a bad song. I think
it's overrated.
you have 21 Savage sounding like C3PO with his robotic auto tune. I think that you're getting some of the most basic like love lines ever, like "You Were My Rock," heavy metal, or shit like "She urinated on those rose petals on Valentine's Day." It's like, where are we getting this shit from? And I feel like if you would have showed me this song, like let's say it never came out in 2018, and you showed it to me before it ever came out, around the time that the AI songs were really popping off,
You thought it would have been there?
I would have believed you. If you told me this is AI 21 Savage, I would have been like, holy fuck, this is nuts.
I think it's horrible.
I think it's a weak song.
People mindlessly like enjoy this song because you're right. Once you actually start getting into the writing of the track, like it's a lot
Forget
of
the
cringy
writing,
shit.
even the performance, bro.
But I mean,
It's
he's not
awful.
necessarily even stretching his vocals too much off of the song. He's not singing on the
He
track.
sounds like C3PO. I'm saying it's the type of filter he's putting his vocals through. I'm telling you, bro. Go watch Star Wars and then listen to the
Yeah, it
song.
doesn't sound like C3PO.
This song
He definitely doesn't.
But
But okay, all right, that's good.
Jay-Z is next up. Hola Jovito. He's got some stinkers, but again, we're not looking for stinkers. We're looking for overrated songs. And he has some of those too.
Yeah, he does. He really does.
It was between 2 for me.
But what are your 2? I'll tell you my 2.
Hard Knock Life. That was one that I'm like, this is a little bit overrated. And then the one that I ended up choosing, because I do like Hard Knock Life, I just think it's a bit overrated. Big Pimpin' is going to be my most overrated
okay.
Jay-Z track.
All right. Thank God you didn't go Hard Knock, bro.
No.
Hey, listen.
I just feel like I've seen it in top 10 Jay-Z lists
It's
for
arguable,
songs.
though. The writing on that song's incredible. The writing on that song is fire, bro. The Hard Knock sample, bro, like that's passion. Vince Staples
cool.
actually recently tweeted about it, actually, because someone was making fun of the sample, and they're like, bro, why are they screaming so hard at the back of the song if it's like, you don't know nothing about passion? I love the song, though, so I didn't have that in there.
Slightly overrated because I see it on too many all-time lists. But yeah, Big Pimpin'. You're not going with Big Pimpin'?
I like Bim Pimpin'. I like UGK on the song.
But they washed him. That's the thing. They
But it's
absolutely
fire,
wash
though.
him.
Yeah, I can never put on Big Pimpin' and be like, and honestly, like a lot of people don't fuck with this song because of the
I
content
just
matter.
hate. No, for me, it's like that Middle Eastern like flute loop on the beat.
It's hard.
I can't
Goes
stand
crazy
it.
in the car
Also,
speakers.
Jay-Z like regretted making the song too, so that doesn't help it either.
Yeah,
And,
but that's what I'm saying,
Even
though, is
after
that-
he did that, people still hail it as like this all-time party song, and I'm like, bro, I'm never like in the cut wanting to listen to this song at a party.
No, obviously not, but I don't look at it and be like,
It's overrated. Yeah.
I don't find it overrated.
So what is it for you?
I don't know if you guys are gonna hate me for this one, but I've never been a big fan of Run This Town, bro.
No, that's an awful take.
I've never
bro.
been like-
You even gave me the take that you prefer Jay-Z on Run This Town than Lil Wayne himself on the remix, and now you're gonna come around and
Yeah,
say
but
you
it
don't like
doesn't
the
mean
song.
that. Hey, it's not that I don't like the song. I want to kind of retract my statement if I did say that, but I mean, I do feel like it's slightly overrated. It's one of his most championed songs, and I feel like a lot of the cuts off of Blueprint 3 are overrated. I mean, it's not the craziest feature from Rihanna or Kanye either. Like, I'm just not that big on it, bro.
You're bugging with that one.
Like,
bro.
I'm just not. Hey, listen, bro. I didn't have Running Out of Time, and I didn't have LSD, bro, as my picks. I think I could get away
New
with
Magic
bro.
Wand. I'm not running out of time.
Oh, yeah, it's true. Yeah, New Magic Wand. At least I didn't have those. Don't fucking tell me I'm bugging, bro. I've been
Bro,
solo this whole fucking episode.
Run This Town is an all-time anthem. How could you say that, bro? That's
Like,
disrespect.
bro, throw on Empire State of Mind off of that same album any day of the week, bro.
I'll
Rip,
play-
it,
I'll- why-
rip that, bro.
Why
Like,
choose one when you can have both?
but like, right, even like the Jay-Z flow at the beginning, where like the way that he ends off his lines, I'm just like,
No,
like it's like one of
hard.
those
It's
Jay-Z
hard.
flows that I can't get into, and like I don't know, feels like a Call of Duty theme song.
Oh, it does.
It feels like it could go straight into like a cause
It's kind
like
of
track.
like an Eminem survival. You can't say
Who's
it's
gonna
like,
run this town tonight? It's like, okay,
No,
bro.
Don't start fucking mocking it, bro.
I'm
Come on,
just,
that's
I'm
an
telling you the way
all-timer.
that I feel about it.
Nah, you're really
I'm okay
bugging
with
out.
it. But okay, let's end off this episode with Central C.
Can I say all of them? Could we say that? Every single
Did you
hit
do
he's put
Doja?
out.
Did you do Doja?
I mean, I wanted to, I guess, Doja, because it's the song that really made his career. It's a song that a lot of people fucked with, but I don't know if anyone put the song in high regard. Like, I never saw
I think
it
it was just
make.
catchy for a lot of people.
Yeah, I think it was just
kind of
catchy.
scary.
It was a
That,
TikTok
yeah,
trend. Like,
it's kind of scary that people know this song's like lyric for lyric. It's like, well, you guys are listening to it that much. Doja could be in consideration. How about band for band?
yeah, that's where I want to take my answer to is band for band, but more so Sprinter, because Sprinter got so much love
I like Sprinter
when
though.
it came out. Yeah, we've gone over this before. You like it, I don't. I think the lyrics are cheap. I think the flows are pretty boring, and I still don't understand how it became for so many people like the summer anthem of 2023. So I'm gonna go with Sprinter, bro. Even that YouTube acoustic guitar beat, like, what are we doing here? You know?
Yeah.
So, Sprinter.
I have Let Go from 2022.
I don't even know that song.
That was the song that kind of popped him off, and that a lot of OG Central C fans like. I don't even want to say that, like, not enjoy, but I've seen a lot of TikTok edits with this. I see a lot of kids playing it. My little cousins rip it, and just I feel like the interpolation is just, it's weird, bro. And like, I'm not going to Central C to get like in my romantic vibe. You know, that's just not what I'm doing here.
I'm just not going to Central C at all, to be honest with you.
Yeah, for you, it's just it's a kind of. You see,
Yeah.
I like Sprinter though. I
Okay.
enjoy Sprinter.
Yeah.
I like the production and back. I feel like if it came on at a party, like, it would be cool. You know. Just has a nice vibe to it. But yeah, I went with Let Go. It's one of the most streamed songs within his catalog. I think it's sitting at 426 million streams. That is a massive song, actually. And it's gone viral within every single TikTok community. And it's just, that's cheap for me, you know?
Yeah,
And like
man.
where he says, you're a fucking hoe. Like the way that he ends off, like, you know, his hook. I don't know. I always found it kind of awkward. But
Yeah, man, it's gonna
you
sum
had
it up,
some-
bro.
you had some
I had some
crazy
spicy
yeah,
takes
you had
here,
some
bro.
Crazy takes.
I had some spicy ones for sure. I mean, the new Magic Wand. I'm gonna say it again. I have it in my top 10 Tyler songs. I just don't think it's number one. The Run This Town one caught me off guard, though. I didn't think you'd be tripping
like
with
I
a
said-
Jay-Z take, though.
It's not like I said 99 Problems.
No,
Or it's not
but-
like I said like Hard Knock Life, bro.
It's still one of the best songs off Blueprint 3, excuse me.
Yeah, but it's not like one of his best hits. I find it in the lower end of his hits, if I'm being completely honest with you.
It doesn't rank highly, but there's nothing
Like everyone rates that song, and I'm just like,
they don't rate it like super
I'm
high.
cool.
But
But I feel like we were kind of disconnected on our definitions of overrated.
we were. But guys, let us know in the comments, how do you guys define overrated? And also, like I said, we had a lot of steamy takes. Which ones did you agree with? Which ones didn't you? And if we do this again, which rappers should we bring into the mix? Thank you guys for watching this video all the way up until the end. We appreciate the support, and we'll see you next time. Peace.